Good afternoon to all my viewers and listeners. I am Errol Sanders, president of the Money Kingdom out of Jacksonville, Florida. I want to go over some highlights of a business term loans. I've been working with a direct lender for about 3 years now, and this is private money to do tons of small business term loans. These are not MCA loans, but 1 monthly payment term loans. So I have a lot of clients come to me, and it's amazing that a lot of people that are in business, they don't understand how the lending process works as far as everything is tied to interest rates and credit report. So the higher your credit score, the lower your interest rate. The lower your credit score, the higher your interest rate. Everybody understands that when it comes to a mortgage, to financing a car and other large items, furniture per se. But when it comes to small business loan, recently had 2 clients. I got this guy $70,000 and his credit score was 600, and he was complaining about interest rates. So I told the gentleman, sir, you're in a pipe dream if you think you're going to get $70,000 to $100,000 with a prime interest rate with a credit score of 600. Because the lender looks at not just your credit score, but the credit report. So if you have late payments, 90 days late on a couple of loans or whatever, I personally don't pull a credit report. I can, but I let the lender do that because they make the final decision. Underwriting does. And so the guy was complaining about the high interest rates. So I was like, well, sir, your credit score is 600. It is a miracle you got 70K, right? And of course he got upset, but hey, if you're gonna get upset, go look in the mirror, get upset with your credit score, okay? Had another gentleman I got funded, got 100K pre-approved for. Same thing, he had been in business with a couple of partners and the business went downhill. He was left holding the short end of the stick. So his credit score was like 615, but he was depositing 100 grand a month, okay? So I tried to explain to him that the bank is concerned about getting paid back. They assess risk based on your credit score and your credit report. So he was complaining about high interest rates. Same thing I told him. Well, sir, why don't you walk into the bank based on the statements that you sent me and ask for 100K with a 600 credit score and watch them laugh you at the bank, okay? So what I want to go over with small business owners today is how the lending process works, and that you don't need to waste your time if you got a low credit score and you're going to pipe dream, think you're going to get 4 or 5% interest rate with 600 credit score, and based in the bank, the lender's going to give you 100K. You were dreaming, you might as well go to another planet, okay? And if you're an SBO, that stands for a stupid business owner, and you're offended, I'm talking to you, right? Because you would think the business owner would know some basics of how the lending process works. So, like I said, I've been working with this direct lender for 3 years, and they offer business term loans. They've gotten law firms funded, accounting firms, trucking firms, IT firms, you name it. They loan up to 250K, right? 5K to 250K. So here are the highlights of this business term loan. 5K to 250K. This is a direct lender. Same day funding, 2 to 6 hours. That is dependent upon the borrower getting all the paperwork back in. They can get funded possibly in 2 to 6 hours. 1 monthly payment, very important. I've had people coming to me with the MCA loan, merchant cash advance, and this one gentleman who owned a security company, he was depositing 200K a month, and he was in the red messing around with the MCA loan, taking like $700 a day, $800 a day from his account, right? And so I try to get my clients to stay away from MCA loans. If people want to do those, that's fine, but know what you're getting yourself into. Very, very high interest rates, right? The terms are 2 to 10 years, 24 months to 120 months. So that's where a lot of complaints come in, right? It's just like buying a house or buying a car, okay? If you don't want to pay off the car to the end of the term of the house or whatever, and interest rates, because a bank is not going to lend you money, lend you 100 grand, and they make back 100 grand. A bank is not going to lend you money for a car, 50 grand, and then you pay them back 50 grand. It's the interest, how they make money, the interest rates. You would think that would be basic common knowledge, right? If you're an adult over 21 and 22, okay? But not everybody knows that. That's why I'm making this video, okay? Because this is a business term loan, these are 1 monthly payment loans. I keep reemphasizing that. No daily, weekly, or bi-monthly payments. Those are for MCA loans, right? This is why people get in trouble. They get into these MCA loans, they get 2 or 3 of them, and their bank account is in the red. And like the one gentleman I was telling you about, depositing 200K, he was headed out of business, okay? Depositing 200K because they were dipping his bank account on a daily and weekly basis, okay? So if you have an MCA loan, though, the good news is if you have an MCA loan and it's seasoned more than 90 days old, if you qualify, this lender can consolidate your MCA loan up to 6 positions. right? And I'm gonna get into some examples of how that happened later on. Okay, but like I said again, your interest rate is dependent upon your credit score and your credit report. I often use the analogy: the credit score is like your front door. The credit report is like inside of your house. So if your door is crystal clean, it's clean, and your house is dirty, the credit score can be 700, it can be 680, 720. But if your house is dirty, the credit report, late payments, bankruptcies, that's a no-brainer. You won't get funded unless it is discharged, right? But I also had one client that I asked people up front, like, okay, give me an honest assessment of your credit report. You have any late payments? You have a high DTI, debt to income ratio? Because if your debt to income ratio is over 35, 40%, lender's not going to touch you. If you're a lender, what lender's going to give somebody 100K and they're already in debt for 100K? That's not going to happen, right? Now, because these are unsecured loans, these are not collateralized loans. If you have a boat or some kind of high equity in a property or whatever, and you're going to use it as collateral, then the lender will have no problem giving you a loan, because if you default, they're going to take your property, your boat, or whatever you have, right? But if these are unsecured loans strictly tied to your credit score, your credit report, the bank and the lender's assessing risk and getting paid back. They're not going to give you 100K with a 615 credit score, because they're looking at the risk of not getting paid back. It's not going to happen. So no matter who you find on Craigslist or YouTube are telling you otherwise, they're lying to you, and they're going to ruin your credit even further. Okay? So when you apply, the lender does do a hard credit pull. It will be a hard credit pull. Now, these are the loan requirements if you want to apply for a small business term loan. Minimum monthly deposits must be $5,000 monthly in the last 3 months. So we're in the month of May. So that means if you apply, fill out the application, that means your February, March, and April business bank deposits must be $5K or more. You must have a business bank account. You will be amazed that people apply and they're trying to use their personal bank statements, even though the ad says business bank statements, okay? That tells you a lot. Minimum 3 months in business. Minimum 25% ownership in the business, right? Must have a business bank account. So why would you apply for a business loan with a personal bank account? You'd be amazed. Must have at least the last 3 months business bank statements. Now, let me say this. I've had people send me fake bank statements, right? And the font is off, and they are put together. They're fake, right? So I get this person a call and say, look here, the Fed's going to be knocking on your door. You're going to be going to federal prison. You have a bank's name on a fake bank statement that's doctored up, and the font is off, right? And the person goes, well, I didn't submit the bank statements. It was my broker, whoever, right? But the Fed's going to come after you if you got fake bank statements, submitted them to a lender, and you have a bank's name on there, Bank of America, whomever, right? You're going to be in trouble. So make sure your bank statements are valid and legitimate, right? I'm not a bank examiner, but every lender has bank examiners on their staff to examine these documents when they come in. So make sure your bank statements are real and they're legitimate. Your last 3 months business bank statements. Okay. Another big thing, you must confirm your bank account with Decision Logic. And they will send you a link once you get pre-qualified, because there's a lot of fraud in this business. So the lender wants to make sure that your bank account is actually valid. And with Decision Logic, they don't have access to your username or password. They just go in there and make sure that everything is legit. What you said, that you have deposits going in, that you put on the application, 5K, 10K a month, 100K a month, or whatever, right? All bank revenues must be discharged, not dismissed. They must be discharged, not dismissed. You must live in the state your business is in, or your business must be in a state that lender funds in. Here's how that works. So if you are living in Maryland and your business is in California, you can still get funded, because this is one of the states that the lender loans in. They lend in 30 states, and I'm going to go over those states individually real quick. And everything that I'm saying right now is going to be at the bottom of this video after I'm done. So if you live in Maryland and your business is in California, vice versa, you can possibly get funded if you pre-qualify for all the other requirements, okay? But if you live in Maryland and your business is in Texas, they don't fund in Texas. As far as a business term loan, they can't fund you, okay? So your business primarily must be in the same state that you're living, and 99% of people, that's the case. And I have had a few people maybe, that they live in one state and the business is in another, and they're not able to get funded, or the business was in a state where the lender does fund, okay? Very important. This lender does not fund startups. They do not fund startups. No brokers. I only work directly with the clients. Okay, if you're a broker worth your salt, find your own lender, work with your lender to get your clients. I don't do broker chains. I don't do referrals, none of that. And the reason I don't do that is because if I do it every once in a while, it's with a professional. I don't do people trying to shop for information. People, once the loan gets funded, they're calling you every day about where's my commission, where's my commission. So I don't do broker change, right? If you're a broker, find your own lender to fund your clients. Do not come to me asking that you have clients, okay? So, we'll go over some quick details right quick. Here's some examples of if a business owner, we had 3 business owners. These are just three examples. They came to this lender already having an MCA loan. They were like in the red, like suffering bad, okay? A general contractor came to this lender looking for payment relief. They were paying $715 a day, which equals $15,026 per month for a monthly payment with an MCA loan, right? The lender was able to pay off their balance directly and reduce their monthly payment to just $2,592, down from $15,026 down to $2,592. Okay, so basically they freed up $12,433 per month in cash flow back into the business. Okay, but they were in trouble with MCA loan. Once they came to us, they got a one monthly payment, a business term loan that consolidated their past MCA loan, and it reduced it like 12 grand. Okay, a trailer company came to us seeking relief. They were paying $685 a day, which equals $14,385 a month. Okay, the lender was able to consolidate their MCA loan and reduce it down to what was the monthly payment? Down to $33.21, and put $11,063 back into operating cash. Third example. Auto repair shop came looking for, they were in trouble with the MCA loan also, right? They were paying $14,704 a month because they had more than one MCA loan, right? The lender was able to pay off their balances, consolidate that MCA loan, right? And reduce their payment down to $4,522 a month from $14,704 a month, freeing up $10,181 in cash, operating cash back in their account. Okay? So, like I said, I'm not bashing MCA loans. People do them. Whatever works for you. I don't know people's circumstances. I'm just saying, when somebody comes to me, I try to discourage them from getting an MCA loan if they can, to get a business term loan if they qualify. If not, do what your heart tells you to do. Okay, now these business term loans are available in 30 states only. So I'm going to call out these states individually, and like I said, all information will be at the bottom of this video. Okay, so these are the states that this lender loans in: Alabama, Arizona, California, Delaware, DC, District of Columbia, Hawaii, Alaska, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Mississippi, Missouri, Nebraska, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, North Carolina, Ohio, Oregon, South Carolina, Utah, Virginia, Washington State, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. Those are the 30 states that this lender loans in. And like I said, the amounts are from $5K up to $250K. Okay? So, if you want to apply, I'm going to have a link at the bottom of this video. It will take you straight to the application. You fill it out. Once I receive that, you also have an email address that I'll have you send your last 3 months of business bank statements to. Once I get those, I submit those to the lender. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes for them to pre-qualify you. You get a call from a personal loan consultant. We'll go over the rates and the terms. If you pre-qualify, tell you what the monthly payment is going to be, the terms are going to be, and you take it from there. Then it goes to quality control, underwriting, all the steps, pre-funding, funding call, and then you actually get funded. So some people get funded the same day because they cooperate, return, documents, whatever they need to return to the underwriters. They get funded the same day within 2 to 6 hours. That's seen to happen. Other people, I understand people are busy, right? And here's what I tell my possible clients: if you need the money, take care of your financial business first, right? Take off, set aside 30 minutes or hour, whatever, get everything done so you get funded the same day. Because what happens is this lender does a lot of loans. So if the consultant calls you, okay, and they leave a message for you, you call them back, now on the phone with somebody else that's, was waiting behind you. So it might be 4 hours later before you call. You actually get in touch with them, right? So you want to go ahead and get that taken care of initially in advance and get your money in your bank account and be done with it, right? So once again, I said the minimum FICO score must be 600 plus. Now, there are people that under 600, like 580 or whatever, only 2% of those people get funded. It's only for like 15K. So if your credit score is under 600, you only got a 2% chance of getting funded and only 15K. They prefer a 600 credit score. Other than that, probably won't get funded, right? Like I said again, a couple of people, 100K deposits, credit score 600, they didn't want to pay the interest rate, right? And I'm like, okay, well, if you don't have any collateral, you're not going to get and I'm going to re-emphasize this again. If you got a 600 credit score and you're asking for 100K, you mean your bank statement said 100K, no bank is going to give you 100K with a 600 credit score unless you have some collateral set aside that's worth the loan you're asking for, right? If you go into a private lender, credit score, loans are tied to interest rate and credit report. So if you got late payments, 3 months late on 2 loans, and then you come in and then wondering why you didn't get funded, the lender will actually send you a letter telling you why, right? Because I have people call me back and they want to get an attitude with me, and I'm like, you can actually call the lender yourself. They're not going to waste time on the phone explaining in detail. They're going to send you a letter, but you should already know if your credit score is below 680, 700, you're not going to get a prime interest rate, okay? So hope that helped you out. I'm going to have everything I just talked about in detail at the bottom of this video. If you're looking for a business term loan, 5K to 250K, same day funding in 2 to 6 hours, my number's actually going to be there. If you have any questions, you can text me, call me, or whatever within business hours, 9 to 5, Eastern Standard Time. And I answer, but all the questions are answered. But if you have any other questions, I get back to you as soon as possible. Until then, God bless, have a great day, and I wish you much success.